friends and colleagues, it is my great privilege to convey this message on the 25th Silver Jubilee celebrations of Indian Arthroplasty Association. In fact, let me tell you that my own journey as an arthroplasty surgeon in our own country is roughly about the same time span. Once I finished my training at Baroda Medical College, I was lucky enough to get an opening on the platform of the Royal College of Surgeons of England and was able to take my further training in the United Kingdom, subsequently, of course, in the US as well. But I remember one instance during my fourth year of training in the United Kingdom. There was this fascinatingly large audience that had gathered to hear a stalwart from the British orthopedic world. And after his plenary lecture was over, the hall was open to us students, etc., to ask a pertinent question. And I stood up to ask a question on joint replacement surgery, specifically knee joint replacement surgery. This is in the 1989, I think, yeah. And this British stalwart had made often, visits of India. And instead of answering my question on that joint replacement topic, he said that, young man, do you not think that your questions would be much more well served if you ask them about polio and tuberculosis instead of joint replacement surgery? Because your country needs those specialty knowledge more than this. And I remember I have always been a bit mercurial in my temperament. And I remember responding immediately without a second thought to it, saying that, sir, even if 1% of my countrymen develop the need for joint replacement surgery, it will outstrip your entire population of your country. So my question is well deserved, and can I have some enlightenment? And there was spontaneous applause from the audience. We and my colleagues of my peerage had this wonderful experience of initiating the journey. Of course, there were stalwarts like Dr. K.T. Dolakia Saab, etc., who preceded us and who laid the foundation of joint replacement. But they were very few for a country as vast as India. And it was only during our peerage that young surgeons started populating various centers, including tier 2 cities like Vadodara, which is where I work. And the journey was fascinating in the beginning. It took a huge amount of effort to convince even one patient to undergo joint replacement. And I remember even one surgical procedure in a month was considered to be a party day. So we were one of those lucky ones who happened to be initiating the journey of arthroplasty during those days. The country and the society both put tremendous faith in us. I think my peers were incredibly talented surgeons, and a lot of us took great joy in teaching arthroplasty to the next generation. And today we see that joint replacement is a ubiquitous surgery. Joint replacement surgeons are present in every city and even towns of our country. Millions of patients are benefiting from this wonderful procedure. Of course, there have been tremendous changes in the dynamics of practice as we went along. But well, that is part of life. My message to the next generation surgeons would be, please try to ensure that you have complete integrity of the surgical act that you do. Unfortunately, joint replacement in a business sense has become a commodity practice instead of being a very specialty practice. And therefore, a lot of corners are being cut. The reasons are multifactorial, and it would be in everyone's interest if we maintain the integrity of the surgical act, whereby the science of arthroplasty is given the pride of place as we go along in our practice as joint replacement surgeons. In my own life, despite putting up my tent in a small city like Vadodara, the country rewarded us, and we had the pleasure and the privilege of having people like the Prime Minister of another foreign country come to our doorstep for his knee replacement, and religious gurus like the Shankaracharya also come up to Vadodara. The message I am trying to give is that if you do a good job, a quality job, no matter where you put up your platform, the fact is that the world will beat its pathway to your doorstep. I wish all my junior colleagues a very, very productive and engaging pathway ahead. And I wish my own peerage, the colleagues of my peer, a very happy and satisfying and a graceful floating down into a retirement stage where we still continue to mentor the next generation whilst we enjoy the fruits of our labor of a lifetime. Wishing Indian Arthroplasty Association, whose I have been incredibly blessed, and it has been the proudest moment of my life when I was allowed to ascend and grace the chair of the president of the Indian Arthroplasty Association. It is a year in my career as an arthroplasty surgeon which I will never forget. It's a fantastic platform. I urge all young surgeons to become members and put in efforts to enrich this organization and make it grow in strength year after year. Wishing all of you all the best. Thank you.